Hi there, welcome back to Trauma Team Racing. My name's Scott and we're going to do a really quick video today just looking at my direct drive wheelbase settings for Forza Horizon 5. This is for a DD2, that's the wheelbase I'm working off, but it should work pretty well for a DD1 and a CSL DD as well. So, no mucking around, let's get to the information, let's rock and roll. So before we start, we need to give credit where credit is due, and I'd like to shout out Xbox user CJAG110 for initially coming up with these settings from which the following have been adapted. These were initially targeted at the DD1 and DD2, but there is no reason why they shouldn't work well for the CSL DD as well. To start with, you're going to want to head into Fanatec and open the tuning menu. It is important to make sure your wheelbase is not in PC compatibility mode, or you will not be able to access this. Here, you can see we have selected Profile 2. The first thing we're going to look at is maximum steering angle. Now this is going to be dependent on what kind of wheel you're using. For Forza I like to use a GT wheel, so I set this to 1080 degrees. If you're using a Formula wheel, I like to set this to 360 degrees, but a lot of this is very subjective. Overall force feedback strength will be set to 35%, force feedback scaling set to peak, natural damper set to 10%, natural friction set to 5%, natural inertia set to 3%, force feedback interpolation filter set to 2. Now the following are all set to 100, so force effect intensity, game force effect strength, game spring effect strength, game damper effect strength, they're all set to 100%. Brake level indicator, I leave that as off. And the last thing is brake force. Now this is very subjective again depending on your pedal setup. I have a set of Fanatec V3 inverteds and I personally like to have this set to 70%. Once we're finished here, we're going to head back to our wheel. Next, you're going to need to look at the instructions for your particular wheel. Now, you're going to need to put your wheelbase into PC compatibility mode. I personally use a 911 GT3 wheel with a podium button model endurance attached. To do this, you need to push the yellow and the red button indicated in the video, and then this will put your wheelbase into PC compatibility mode. Important to note, Forza Horizon 5 will not work unless it is in this mode. After you've done that, we can now head into the game settings to tweak the in-game force feedback settings. From the game, hit escape and then head into settings. From here, you're then going to want to head into advanced controls, where we're going to tweak the force feedback settings. Here you're going to want to make sure steering linearity is set to 50, vibration scale to 1, force feedback scale to 0.7, center spring scale to 0.4, wheel damper scale to 0.4, mechanical trail scale to 1.6, force feedback minimum force 0.9, force feedback load sensitivity 1.1, road feel scale 0.9, off-road feel scale 1, and steering sensitivity to 0.5. Now remember, this is all pretty subjective, but I've been having an absolute blast with this, and I think the force feedback is actually a step up from Forza Horizon 4. If you found any of this remotely useful, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.